IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with our life. Did you know that we have about 25,915 days in our life? This was a study done across multiple countries where they looked at the average life expectancy of people. The numbers are basis a 71 years life. Now, for many of us, just having a number on our life is scary. You might feel like switching off the podcast, but don't, because it will get better. But however, it might get a little scarier before it gets better. So just hang in there. So let's see how the average person experiences the day and how many days are spent with each activity. 1,769 days are spent being with and around loved ones, which is really nice because, that is actually how we should be spending our days. But then again, 7,709 days are spent just sitting around. Compare that to only 109 days spent exercising. So that's about 30% of our life sitting down in one place. By the latest estimates, of about 41% of our life will be spent looking at a screen or a tech device. And that is a sobering feeling. And I feel that right now as I type this out and I record this podcast. It's a very strange feeling when we have our entire life put in front of us like this in numbers. It adds a certain sense of finiteness. It makes us feel like we have to change something. We have to tweak aspects of our life if this is how our life is supposed to be or is going to be. So let's ask you this. Do you feel that you're living your perfect, best life right now? Do you feel like your days are perfect? Because ultimately your perfect days add up and form your perfect life. So let's plan how we should make our perfect days. I want you to close your eyes and visualize what your perfect day looks like. This is not a day that is a highly optimized robotic day. This is a day that will make you feel happy. It has enough of fun and work both mixed in. How do you wake up on this perfect day? Do you wake up energetically? Do you wake up lazily? How do you feel at that point of time? What are the things that you do in that morning? What are the activities that you do? And how do those activities make you feel? What are the kinds of thoughts that you have? Who is there around you? And how does your day progress into the late morning and the early afternoon? Visualize these things. And if you feel that this is the perfect time for a swim in a pool, perfect. Do it. Is it possible or not? Who knows? But this is your perfect day. So by all means, 12 o'clock, go for a swimming pool, swim. Perfect. Like this, slip into the afternoon. What did you have for lunch? Where were you eating? And keep going like that. What does your evening look like? Are you out with friends? Are you eating? Are you working on a side project? Are you exercising? Or are you watching TV and eating popcorn? And there's no judgment here because this is your perfect day, your perfect evening. How does this transition into the night? What did you eat? How did you transition into sleep time? And what time did you sleep? Beautiful. And I pray that you have beautiful dreams while you're sleeping. So now, what do we do with this whole visualization exercise? We make it a reality. And this is where we normally screw up because we never turn our dreams or our visualizations into a reality. So this is a very simple way of doing that, but it's highly effective. So what I want you to do is I want you to bring out a book and a pen. Now on the left side of that page, write down your perfect wake up time, followed by what's going to happen next, how you will feel during those times. So go like that with each activity and keep adding a timestamp on the left as you write down these activities. These are activities that you can do starting today and tomorrow. So these are real tangible things. These are not your fantasy activities. These are the real things that are baby steps towards your ultimate visualized goal. Like that, fill up your day. Go through the schedule that you've created every single morning. Read it. Visualize that perfect day before you start your perfect day. So your simple habit for this perfect day starts by visualizing it, then writing it down and turning it into a reality. Focus on the activities and how they make you feel while you're doing them. Because very often we just focus on the activity, but our feelings and our emotions are such an integral part of whether we stick to that activity and how we actually enjoy that day. So don't forget the feelings. Remember that this change will not happen overnight. It will take weeks and maybe months. But the idea here is to change slowly each day, thus slowly changing your life. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome180.
I hope you enjoyed that show. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Intel, for supporting us. So Jasleen Royal came on Storytellers and Storytellers this week with Vineet. It was a really interesting conversation. Do definitely check that out. Hamsini Hariharan is back on the Pragati podcast after an extended absence. Hamsini was one of the original hosts along with Pravan, but she was unable to continue. But we're glad to have her back. She's talking about her experiences since she left. She's been studying in China. Definitely check that out. You'll enjoy that. Abhijit Ganguly was on Cyrus Says a couple of weeks ago, and he had such a great time, and we were so happy to have him on that we asked him to join us for Cock and Bull, and he was on this week. Do check that out. And lastly, I'd like to mention our Tamil show. We've been doing a show called Kadai Podcast Ponniyin Selvan, hosted by Kavita Jiva. She has been phenomenal. She's rewritten the stories in a way which really, they speak to a modern audience. But Ponniyin Selvan is over, and she started a new story, though. The new story that she started is Sivakamiyan Sabatham. I'm sure I mangled that pronunciation, and I'm sure you'll love it if you're a Tamil speaker. Do definitely check it out. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Have you ever wondered how successful people do their thing? How do they navigate the challenges they often face? Are you wondering about the future of restaurants, film, education, technology, and everything else in between? Hi, I'm Gauri Devidayal, best known for being one of the brains behind The Table, an award-winning restaurant in Bombay. One thing my life as a restaurateur has given me is the opportunity to meet with some truly inspiring people, most often just by chatting with strangers at the community table. And that's what this podcast is about. It's about learning the new dimensions of business and understanding how different people swim this sea. It's an opportunity for me to pick their brains and ask them all the questions on my mind, whether it's about learning from their past experiences or talking about future trends. Through their journeys, stories, and insights, I hope you too, like me, will come away inspired and energized. So come, join me every Wednesday with your favorite drink, because this round is on me.